There's a moment in Peaky Blinders where Tommy Shelby walks into a room of men who want him dead, and he slows down. No raised voice, no big gesture, he just stills. And somehow that's the scariest thing in the scene. That's not luck, that's not just Cillian Murphy being naturally intimidating. That is a deliberate, learnable technique. And once you see it, you'll never act the same way again. Most actors, and I was guilty of this early in my career, think a powerful moment needs more. More emotion, more voice, more movement.
Only I thought it'd be alright for half an hour or so while I had some dinner.
Cillian Murphy knows the opposite is true. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what he does and why you should steal it for your career. Look at these two scenes. Which one works the best?
She was kind of angry, but she just ran off.
You know what? I don't believe you. You're telling me she's out there somewhere on her own?
She's probably at the park or something. It's not even been that long. It ain't my fault. I was trying to get her to understand why I went to America.
How could she understand? You spent tens of thousands of pounds on a consultation that was never going to change anything. Lex, it's Jay. Look, call me as soon as you get this back.
If we'd have got there 6 months sooner, it would have made a difference. If you'd have fought harder, we could have got her on a trial sooner.
We did all that we could, right? Sat next to her in the bed, Lexi holding her hand as she died. And you couldn't face it, could you, eh? So you ran away. You abandoned Lola. You abandoned your own daughter.
I was trying to save her.
Oh, was ya? Well, now you have got to live with that.
You and your specials will leave my businesses alone from now on. No more raids into our territory. No more smashing up pubs. No more lifting my runners. You will turn a blind eye to all of my gambling operations.
Cillian Murphy didn't train as an actor, he trained as a lawyer, but his career pivoted into the theatre in Ireland, and it blossomed from there. He's on the record as saying he doesn't have a particular technique. He relies on doing a lot of research and acting on instinct. But he's developed a technique which is really interesting and powerful for the screen. You might have seen a well-known clip of Michael Caine doing a screen acting masterclass where he tells people not to blink. Well, it's really true. Not blinking has massive power. It's not particularly natural, but it works really well for the screen. Cillian Murphy clearly uses this technique to great effect. I'm dreading saying this, but he has a big connection with Christopher Nolan. No, not those ones. Enough already, thank you. Doing Batman Begins, Oppenheimer and Inception with that great director. So what we need to look at is this self-learnt technique of Cillian Murphy's that stillness is power. A lot of actors are afraid of silence. They think that acting is about speaking. Cillian Murphy realises that silence is where a lot of acting takes place. So let's break down what he actually does. As we've said, he very rarely blinks. Another thing that you notice about him is that he's got this low physical energy, but at the same time he's got high emotional, internal intensity. It's all going on in there. If you notice also, he has a delayed reaction. He takes longer to do anything than other actors do. There's always a pause, which is always filled with some kind of energy. It might be that you feel that there's a need to react immediately. What Cillian Murphy does is he holds that off for a beat before reacting. And this makes the audience lean in, metaphorically. What's going to happen next? He also uses breath control. Now, this is something that, I bang on a lot about. It's very important. He uses slow, deliberate pacing. I'm going to put a video up there, a link to a video up there, which looks at another actor doing this. You'll enjoy that. You've got to work on your breath control. You've got to work on your technique to allow you to be able to perform in this way that is controlled, still, threatening, and interesting. With this, we are talking about screen acting in particular. It doesn't really work on stage because it's invisible. We wouldn't be able to see it. Now, when I was in EastEnders, well, watch this.
This is nothing to do with me. I haven't done anything.
You have to see this from our point of view. We have to sort this out. It's our job. It's what we're paid to do. We tried getting hold of the man, Mr. George Palmer himself, but nothing. We phoned his house, his club, still no reply.
That's rude, that is.
So we burned down his house. Still nothing. So we smash up his beloved gym, and that gets him going. He comes at us the weekend, making a right mess, but still won't talk.
Because he's not here.
Which we only have your word for. And unfortunately, in our line of business, association is 9/10 of the guilt.
By that point, I'd learnt this technique. I'd learnt that actually slowing down, being deliberate, being still is much more threatening than running around and shouting at people. There's a police training element that says actually if you're going to confront someone and they are red and their veins are sticking out and what have you, you don't have to be frightened of those, particularly because they're just getting rid of their energy like that. Whereas actually if the blood drains from someone's face, then that's when you should be really careful because they're going to do something very dangerous. And Cillian Murphy realises this and uses it to great effect. And it's not just in Peaky Blinders where Murphy uses this technique. In Oppenheimer, in the famous "Now I am become death" speech, Murphy doesn't go into histrionics. He doesn't give it any more than just saying it. He lets the audience do the work. Now, this is critical. If you're not doing anything, then you can't be a bad actor. I know that sounds silly, but it's true. If you're trying to tell the audience everything, there are so many opportunities for you to go wrong. When an actor tries to tell you exactly how you should feel, you actually end up feeling less. When they hold back, your imagination fills the gap. And you think, what a brilliant actor that is. But you've done all the work, not them. Just remember one of Stanislavski's core ideas about subtext. What your character doesn't say is actually much more interesting than what they do say. So here are some drills that you can do at home that will help with this. A stillness drill. Film yourself doing a monologue and then do it again. But this time, try to cut out 50% of the movement. Watch them both back. Which one is more watchable? The next one is the delayed reaction exercise. This is when you're working with a partner. What I want you to do is to hold your response in the dialogue for one whole breath longer than you would have done normally. And feel what that pause does to the tension in the scene. The next exercise is called eyes before body. What I want you to do is to make a decision internally and let it reach your eyes before you speak. Now we'll do the threat test. I want to punch your face in! That's one. I want to punch your face in. Practice doing stuff like that with threats and see which one comes across as more authentic, more scary, more threatening. So I want you to remember that the actors that keep getting hired aren't the ones that feel the most on screen. They're the ones that make you feel the most. There's a video here that delves more deeply into that subject, and there's one here about the 5 biggest mistakes that you can make when you're starting your acting career. Enjoy whatever one you watch next.